Good afternoon, welcome to another video. Today we are continuing progress on our diff situation. All the fluid's drained, hopefully. It's been draining for like 3 days. We are gonna flush that with proper fluid, but that's not what we're doing today. Today we're just gonna try and work out how to get out this bar behind here and the other holder for the diff. There's 2 bars that hold the diff in. We're gonna try and get them both out by lowering this a little bit. I don't know how, but I'm gonna work it out. What a head! That's a fill bolt. I should probably put this fill bolt back in the diff, but it's a pain to get to, so I'm not going to. Alright, let's pull all this out and see what happens. See if I can wiggle this bar. I think I definitely have to drop it because the bolts that stick out of these end bushings, they come down quite fast, so I won't be able to maneuver the bar enough to get it free of the bolt. Alright, that bar's loose. As you can see, I give this bar quite a wiggle, but I'm not going to be able to get it down to clear this bolt, which is looks like it's stuck up in the body of the car. So we're going to have to drop this whole thing, which we're going to have to do that anyway, to get the mustache bar out of the back of that. So that's cool. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to disconnect the sway bar, which is this thing, into this end link. So I'm going to do that. These are tiny, which I was kind of surprised about, but I'm going to disconnect that. I'm going to have to disconnect, I think this is the lower control arm, pretty sure that's what it's called. If I disconnect it there, that's going to mess with the alignment, unless I mark where it sits, but I don't really know anything about aligning. I think if I undo both of these and drop it out from here, that won't mess with anything alignment wise. I might just have to support this whole business. And then I'm gonna have to work out where else I can unbolt this whole subframe. Looks like there's 2 bolts up in there. Looks like there's 2 bolts there. And that's all I can see. Let's just start undoing shit and see what happens. Got this bad boy out. She's chilling on a brick, which is literally the perfect size for that. I'm not sure how loose this is meant to be, but I don't think it's meant to be that loose. I'm gonna say that bush is rooted, and these, well, that one's pretty good. This one, not so good. We're gonna put them on the to-do list, I think. I had the diff sitting on the jack. I tried lowering it down. It angled forward, but I couldn't quite get enough to clear this bar over these bolts. So I'm probably gonna have to disconnect the tail shaft, so it's not hanging between that and then whatever's holding the diff at the top, which is I assume where it bolts to the mustache bar. I've got an update. The current plan is to not unbolt the tail shaft because it's friggin' all the way out there and I can't be bothered. I'm thinking I'm gonna support this cross member with my second jack. There's 2 bolts there and then 2 bolts up on either side up in there that hold this thing in. I'm pretty sure there's only the 6 bolts. I'm gonna undo those 2, undo the 2 on the other side, support it with the jack, undo these 2 a little bit, try and just drop it down enough to get that bar out. Once that bar's out, do the bushes in the bar, put it back in, re-support the diff off that bar, do the same process with the moustache bar because the bolts for the moustache bar are all the way up under there, and honestly I don't think I'm going to get them out with how it's currently sitting. I don't know if you can see any of that, but that's the plan. I've never unbolted rear suspension before, so this is pretty fun. Thankfully, and I don't want to jinx myself, everything's come out okay so far. Actually, I lie. Those 2 exhaust hanger bolts, I tried undoing them. I touched them once and it just twisted, didn't undo. So they're definitely going to snap. So they're never coming out. Luckily, this hanger comes off really easy. Bruh. Oh, yes. Oh, she's still tight. That's coming. You're probably thinking, why don't you just use an impact, you dickhead? I don't know. Impacts kind of scare me sometimes. I don't think I'm going to get both out today, but man, if I could just get that top bar out, oh, that'd be a good win. Theoretically, if I drop this jack, the whole thing should drop a little bit. No, just the diff's going to move. I also think sometimes I make things too complicated. If I undo this, and the same thing on the other side, and pull these bolts out, the diff will technically be separated from the car. So then, I should just be able to lower it down enough to get it out. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna disconnect these. It's a new day. It's also raining. That sucks. Anyway, what we got up to last night is I went to remove that bolt through the moustache bar. However, the exhaust is in the way, so I got to pull the exhaust off, and I didn't really want to do that last night, so we're doing it now. That one comes off easy. The other two, the other two hangers are a bit more difficult, so I'm gonna do that. I just learned some shit. So I was struggling to get these hangers off. Well, that hanger right there, I could not get that over that. The trick is, which I YouTubed, bang a bit of the old WD on that bitch. You get your all set off your grippies. See if I can do this with one hand. That's how easy this just was. You bang that on there and then you just yeet it off. Like the easiest thing ever. And I was getting upset at that yesterday. Idiot. Don't go buy the tool. All you need is those. And if you don't have those, why are you working on your car, bro? Exhaust is out. On this top hanger, I didn't even use the grips. I literally just put WD on it and slipped it out with my fingers. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. Amateur hour. Now that's out. That took like 3 seconds. And we can get to our mad bolt easy. That one. That sway bar is kind of in the way. I can't get a good angle. I need a little extendo. Cracked it. Oh yeah. Just a bit of leverage up in this. These jack bar things are friggin' handy. Don't hit, don't hit, don't hit. Oh no. Fuck! That's not good. That's not helpful. Bruh. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna investigate. I'll give you an update when I got one. Earlier, I tried to drop this whole rear cross member and it didn't really drop. Turns out I think there's 3 bolts. 1, 2, and then there's actually another one down here that's just in there. Which is long AF, bruh. So, that's probably why it didn't drop earlier, because I missed a bolt, because I didn't look at the diagram properly, because I was like, there's no friggin' way that bolt all the way down here, right there, holds this bit in. Theoretically, if we can support this cross member somehow, support the diff, we can probably undo that, undo the other one, and get the moustache bar and the other carrier bar, or that one, out at the same time. And then we're just gonna drop that whole thing, maybe like, ooh, about that much I reckon. Right, so I just bolted this back in. The diff is bolted back in. Over there and over there. So technically I can get rid of that jack and it should hang by itself. You might be thinking, Jackson, why on earth would you do that? You already undid that, you dickhead. But you know, sometimes you gotta take a step backwards and take 2 steps forward. The issue would be, if I undid all this and got it down, I'd only be able to change those bushings in that thing. I want to be able to do both at once because it will be easier. Update, the sway bar's out. It's over there. Because I wanted to put the jack under that cross member a bit better. So those 2 bolts are out. We've got the small jack supporting the diff. We've got the big jack supporting the cross member. The reason we're doing that is because there's 2 bolts holding the diff into the moustache bar up in there. One I could get out using this little angular thing, which I've literally never used before. The other one you can't get to, I tried getting it with a ring spanner, I couldn't get it, so we are definitely gonna have to drop this whole thing. Update, we got that thing out, finally. So that's the bar that goes over the top of the diff. Mad. Where we're at right now is getting the moustache bar out, which is, you can actually see it now, this thing across here. So I've undone that bolt and that bolt, as you can see. That's where we're at, we're making good progress. I was hoping I could maybe get those bushes out of this thing without the press, but they're in there pretty tight. Although they are torn though. So this one's torn, you can see just there. Bit of tearing on that one too. It's weird that these have gaps in these. This one's not as bad, but it is still torn a bit there, so it's good to replace these. Ah, hello. I missed the bolt. So, in this bitch, the moustache bar, see that little knob? There was a bolt up onto there. This thing was up in there, I didn't see it. So I put these two bolts back in, that one and that one, to hold it still. Luckily I could get the impact up in there and I just sent it and it came out. So everything is unbolted for the moustache bar, so that's technically sitting there loose. I got this cross member strapped onto the jack just so it doesn't fall forward or do anything silly, because that's just sort of chilling by itself. I just got to work out how to get that out now. Oh my god, bro! That's the inside of the bush. It's not even connected. Oh my god. Yeah, boy! Woo! Oh, that was so sick. Oh, I can't believe I did it. That's like not nothing for me, hey. This is a big job. I mean, it's not back together yet, so let's not count our bickies, but that is sick. I can't believe it's out. Should just be able to leave like this, go get it pressed. Woo! You can see this bushing is probably a bit Pete Murray. Just seen better days, if you know what I'm saying. This one is actually not torn. But damn, that one is. So we've got 2 out of 4 torn. I mean, they're not looking great though. I wasn't anywhere near as stressful as doing the lifters, because the lifters was like literally the engine could explode, kind of. Like that was like more fun. Like, the lifters was just like bulk stress, because I was like, man, if I blow this thing up, I'm gonna be so disappointed. But doing that suspension stuff with the diff was actually not too bad, and there was no real guide to follow. Like the lifters, there was a guide. Like heaps of people had done it. It was easy to just copy everyone else, but I couldn't find an actual guide on an AYC diff on exactly how to do it, because most guides are in American and they obviously have RS diffs. So I just kind of had to wing it, and like it's taken me like 2 days to get those out, but they're out. I may leave this video here. I need to press them and get them back in. I'll get them pressed. I'm just going to ring a local workshop where I got my pink slip. Hopefully they can do it. This is something I've been wanting to do for ages, and obviously it needed doing, considering half the bush isn't even freaking attached. Oh, it's just been monstered. Ugh. It's just been monstered by power. That's Evo power. I don't know if these are the stock bushings, like the original ones that came from factory. Like, are these 17 years old? I don't know. So if I do end the video here, peace out. Hope you enjoyed watching. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining. But we're learning, we're making moves, and that's what I'm about. Goodbye.